Hello friends, welcome back to Civil Engineering Mastery. Today let's discuss about what is lap length and what is development length. These two terms are very important in structural detailing. So first let's start from basics. If we wanted to design a building, we have to do structural analysis and then structural design, and apart from these two, the structural detailing also is a major important factor because we communicate our design through detailing to other people's, right? So you can say that it is a medium of communication. Structural detailing is the medium of communication for structural design. So it is also very important. So because if we make any mistakes in detailing, so that will affect the structure. Slab length and development length are major important terms in structural detailing. So let's discuss what is slab length and what is development length. What is slab length? So it is the overlapping length between two bars. So we have to provide second bar whenever the bar is discontinued from one end. So in that place we have to provide another bar and we have to overlap each other. So that overlapping length is called a lap length. For example, if we wanted to construct a multi-story building, say about 50-meter height, we won't get 50-meter height of bar. Okay, so the length of the bar available in the market is 12 meter. So we have to curtail the bar wherever it is required. So here you can see in column, this is the lap length. Here this bar is curtailing. We are curtailing this bar and we are adding this bar at this discontinued location. So this is the lap length. Okay. So here you can see at the foundation level, two bars are lapping with each other. So this overlapping length is called lap length. Next, let's see why lap length is provided. Lap length is provided to transfer the tension forces from one bar to another bar because we provide reinforcement where we need to take the tensile forces to resist the tensile forces, right? So the tensile forces has to transform from one piece to another piece. So in that place we provide lap length. Lap length is provided when you require a tension reinforcement, but the length of the bar is not sufficient to continue through the entire member. As I told you before, if the length of the member is more, if we cannot continue the same bar through the entire length of the member, so in that case we need to provide the lap length. Okay, because available length of bar in market is 12 meters, so we need to curtail the bar wherever required. Let me show you the lap length in column. So here this bar is discontinued at this level and then we are transferring the tension force from this bar to this bar. So this is the new bar which we are taking. So we are doing lapping here. So the overlapping distance between these two bars is called lap length. Okay. So always lapping should be provided in the staggered manner. We should not provide lapping at the same level because it leads to buckling. So lapping should be done in staggered manner. And also lapping should be provided at the middle of the column. Always lapping should be provided at the middle of the column because at the middle of the column the stresses will be less. So lapping should be done at the middle of the column. Next, let's see the guidelines for lap length according to IS 456-2000. There are few guidelines for lap length. So when different diameter of bars are spliced, then the lap length shall be calculated on the basis of small diameter of the bar. So if two bars are lapped together, you have to calculate the lap length according to the smaller diameter of bar. Calculation of lap length varies for tension as well as compression. So in tension we have flexural tension and direct tension. For flexural tension we have to calculate the lap length as LD or 30 times dia, whichever is greater. So among these two, whichever is greater, that length we have to provide as a lap length. Here LD is the development length. So after finishing this one, I'll explain about development length. Next, let's see for direct tension. For direct tension, it is 2 LD, 2 times LD or 30D, whichever is greater. So these two are the calculation lap length for tension, and next lap length calculation for compression. Lap length in compression is equal to development length in compression. So it should not be less than 24 dia, 24 times dia. Next, let's see what is development length. So if the reinforcement bar is no longer required to carry the tensile force, that means the tension is zero at that section. So still we have to develop the bar further so that the grip between steel and the concrete makes it a continuous structure. So that length is called development length. So to make the continuous structure and to provide the grip between concrete and steel, we have to extend the bar to some distance. So that length is called development length. For example, here you can see this is the face of the column. So at this section, if we cut the bar here, what happens? There will not be any connection between concrete and steel, and the grip will not be there. So this bar we have to extend till here. So this length is called development length, which is called LD. Let's see how to provide the development length in beams. So here you can see this bar is disconnected here. So there is no connection. This is the support for the beam, right? So this column is the support for the beam. So there is no connection between this column and beam. So here we had discontinued the bar here. What happens if we do like this? So there will not be any grip between the concrete and the steel, and this will not make a continuous structure. So this is wrong. We should not do like this. So we have to bend the bar like this, and then we have to provide this much extra length. Okay, so this is called development length in beams. Even if you take footing, so here see the column bar is coming and bending inside the footing. So this length is called development length. Now let's see how do we calculate the development length. So there is a formula. LD is equal to 5 sigma s divided by 4 tau BD according to IS 456-2000 class number 26.2.1. Here phi is the nominal dia of bar and sigma s is the stress in bar. Tau BD is the design bond stress. So let's see on calculation how do we calculate the development length for given values. So if we calculate this one, we get for LD is equal to 46 dia. We know the value sigma is 415, and then phi is 12 mm, 4 tau BD. Tau BD is bond stress, which is 1.4 plus 1.4 times 60%. Okay. So if we solve this one, we get LD value as 46 dia. We know 12 mm, phi is 12 mm, so LD is 555 mm. So now we have calculated LD value. So from this is the development length. So from this we can calculate the lap length, right? So already we had discussed about the formulas for calculating the lap length. So we know, for example, if it is a flexural tension, it is LD or 30 times dia. LD is we know development length or 30 times diameter. We have to cross check both and then we have to take the value. So let's recall once again. Lap length is the overlapping distance between two bars. So we provide lap length in order to transfer the tension force from one bar to another bar. Okay. So we are providing development length to make the continuity of the structure as well as to provide the grip between steel and concrete. So this is the major difference between lap length and development length. So friends, I hope you all like this video. Please do comment in the comment box and don't forget to subscribe the channel for more videos. Thank you for watching.